You are looking at Clemson's Death Valley on a beautiful and warm November afternoon as the Clemson Tigers try to get back above 500 with an ACC battle against Duke. Hi everybody, Fred Cunningham with Don Munson, and Don, the Tigers have lost 4 games by a total of 14 points, meaning once again Tommy Bowden and company have some work to do to get bowl eligible.
Well, but this is nothing new to the coaching staff here at Clemson. The last several years, the Tigers have come into this situation, needing to win 2 of their last 3 or 3 of their last 4 ball games. But the key has been Tommy Bowden has always found a way to get his team turned around and make themselves bowl eligible.
They are taking on a Duke Blue Devil team today that's very, very young, that has struggled. We mentioned youth, and it starts with their quarterback.
Well, and it does, and it starts at quarterback. Zach Asak, there you see his numbers on the young man. Not even completing 50% of his passes, and you see the yardage really not that much. That's because Ted Roof will not put the burden of offense on the young freshman's shoulders. He's kind of looking ahead to next year already. Wants to make sure the young freshman can get out there and play for something that's going to be happening on down the line.
As far as Clemson goes, a quarterback situation update, because Charlie Whitehurst has started ever since he's a freshman, but not today.
He will not start today. Instead, it'll be the other quarterback, Will Proctor, as you see there on the split screen, which is kind of interesting because Charlie had his coming out party 3 years ago against the Duke Blue Devils when he threw for better than 400 yards. Well, Tommy Bowden has said to Will Proctor, guess what? It's your opportunity today. Let's see what he does with the opportunity.
He saw action against Texas A&M and played very well against Temple. We'll see how Will does. We're coming back with a kickoff in just a moment from Clemson's Death Valley. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. And we're back at Memorial Stadium at Clemson, just moments away from kickoff as the Tigers get ready to take on the Blue Devils. Duke coming in at 1-8, trying to get their season at least a little bit turned around here in the latter stages. There is Ted Roof, 5 wins as the coach of the Blue Devils, and this his second full season at the helm. 2 of those wins as an interim coach as he was able to secure the job. Tommy Bowden, season number 7 for Bowden. He's won 48 games, 5 of them against the Blue Devils. He is 30-12 in Death Valley. These 2 teams have played a number of times. Duke actually won the first 4 games they met. Clemson has doubled them up, but 1 year ago, Matt Brooks, a 53-yard field goal on the final play, giving the Blue Devils the 16-13 victory. Looking for a warm day today. Already 72 degrees in early November at kickoff. A little bit of an easterly breeze coming up today. It will get warmer. And there is Aaron Kelly ready to receive the kickoff for the Tigers. Duke won the coin toss, elected to defer. The Tigers will take the football, and getting ready to tee it up there for Duke is number 49, Chris Sprague. And Don, a couple of weeks ago, Clemson made a switch in their kick return team and got some pretty quick benefits from it.
Especially last week against Georgia Tech. Kelly almost returned one for a touchdown, took it better than 80 yards. And that's the kind of explosiveness that the Tigers are used to having back there in your kick returners.
Tyler Grisham has often been back there with him, but it is a lone return man. Aaron Kelly, he stands at about his 8. The kick is underway, and there is Kelly fielding it at about the 6. 20, across the 25, and is finally going to be wrestled back there and thrown down fairly hard at the 26. Setting up your Clemson offense across the front, Barry Richardson, Roman Fry, Dustin Fry, Chip Myrick starting today in place of Nathan Bennett, and Marion Dukes is the right tackle. Bobby Williamson, the tight end. Starting in the backfield, it's Reggie Merriweather, number 37, Steven Jackson, the fullback, Stuckey Bayham, Bobby Williamson is the tight end. And coming onto the field at quarterback, Will Proctor, 5 for 10 this year for 80 yards. He had a touchdown pass against Temple here just a couple of weeks ago. 1st and 10 Clemson. Football spotted at the 28-yard line. Proctor under center with a lone setback, Merriweather. Proctor rolling, looking to throw, and will keep it. Has yardage and does the old slip slide there after a pickup of about 7 yards. Setting up your defense for the Duke Blue Devils. Across the front, it's Alexander, Sully, Camaro, and Nichols. Your linebackers, Dewan, Brown, and Lowe. And in the secondary, McCormick, Green, Davis, and John Talley, who is from Duncan, South Carolina, about 60 miles up the road. 2nd down and 3 from the 35. On the ground, Merriweather pushing forward and wrestling his way up near the first down. Probably has it. Philip Alexander making the stop for the Blue Devils.
Well, and I fully expect to see Clemson try to come out in this ball game, Fred, and establish the run, establish the line of scrimmage. Look at Merriweather's numbers. He had a big week last week against Georgia Tech. That guy is averaging 5.2 yards per carry. You know, when you can do that, when you got a running back there behind that offensive line that can do that kind of thing, hey, when it's 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 4, it's a whole lot easier to play this football game.
He is a 5'8", 212-pound junior from North Augusta. Now he's the deep back in the I formation on 1st and 10 from the 38. Merriweather again across the 40, up to about the 46-yard line before he's finally tripped up on the play. And once again, another nice tackle there. Michael Brown making the stop, but again, another good first down play.
And fans that follow the Tigers know that Merriweather is a kind of back that is much better between the tackles than he is trying to get outside, because he just doesn't have that kind of speed. Coach Bowden has said if Merriweather was about 2 inches taller, he could be a first-round pick type of player.
That was a pickup of 8, making it now 2nd down and 2. Here goes Merriweather to the left side. He's got a first down and more as he gets across midfield to about the 48, 47-yard line. Eli Nichols making the stop for the Duke Blue Devils. Duke coming into this game, as we take another look at Merriweather on the ground, they're 106th in the country against the run.
Well, and the Tigers love to run left. And a big hole on that side for Merriweather, and he's just able to get through there and pick up about 7 or 8 yards in the play.
Another first down from the Duke 47. And again, Merriweather left side looking for a hole, fighting his way up maybe about a yard on that pickup before he's finally pulled down by Brian Green, who's the safety. It's going to be a pickup of about 2. They're going to mark the football just short of about the 45-yard line.
When we talk about the left side of that offensive line for the Tigers, and it's because of the left tackle Barry Richardson and also the left guard Roman Fry. Both of those guys have been playing very well this season for Tommy Bowden.
Merriweather,
they have a lot of respect for those guys.
Merriweather is out. Kyle Browning is in now at tailback. Proctor looking to throw from the shotgun. Swings it outside and down on one knee, pulling it in, and finally taken down, though, is Harris, who made the pickup there. John Talley, the corner, one of the top interception guys in the country, is able to make the tackle there.
Almost a little bit of a dangerous throw here by Proctor. As you see him plenty of time, finally looks over there right side, throws it across the field. Nice catch, though. Not a whole lot of as far as yardage wise, but maybe a good way for Will to kind of get his feet, get himself settled out there on the football field.
3rd down and 6. Proctor with time, running again, makes a cut, makes another cut. He's right, very, very close to that first down marker. We'll have to see where they do spot the football.
Well, and the difference between Will Proctor and Charlie Whitehurst is this right here. It's that Will is much more athletic, much quicker on his feet. And this is kind of what Rob Spence wants to be doing in this offense. Even though that wasn't really a scheduled run for the quarterback, it was a situation right there where at least Proctor could look downfield, see everybody was covered. Let's tuck it and run, and he picked up positive yardage. So bring the stakes across and see if he got there or not.
Alex Williams, the linebacker out of Dublin, Georgia, made the stop there. And you'll get a very good look here. It is short by about the length of the football. So it's decision time now for Tommy Bowden. The crowd, obviously, more than 74,000 making their feelings known. They like to see Clemson go for it.
And I think they are going to go for it. You got all those bodies in there in the middle of that huddle as they're going to get the ball reset. Take a look at Tommy Bowden. He's not even in there amongst that huddle. I think he's already made the decision.
The decision is made, and Clemson sending the big bodies out there on 4th down and less than a yard to go from the 38. Merriweather is back in the game. Stuckey is a wideout to the top of your screen. With Charlie, who's about 6'5", he's usually just sort of lean forward to get it. And Proctor will just kind of dig down low and is able to get the first down.
Well, that time a good push by the offensive line of the Tigers. They were able to push back that defensive front of the Blue Devils, and Proctor gets it easily.
So it's a 1st and 10 for Clemson as they spot the football at the 36-yard line. Now we talk about the youth of Duke. This is a team that has played 14 true freshmen this year. They played 14 true freshmen a year ago, and 7 of them have started this year in 2005.
There'll be a bunch of young bodies out there in the football field for both of these teams today.
Proctor under center, a lot of activity up there, penalty markers down. Looks like Chip Myrick may have been the one jumping offside there. Let's get the call. The referee today is Ron Cherry.
The snap, false start, 64 on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Indeed it was. Chip Myrick there jumping offside. Nathan Bennett, normally your starter at right guard. He is sitting out today's game, a 1-game suspension. This goes back to last year's brawl with South Carolina. He's serving his suspension today.
Also, Dwayne Coleman will be sitting out today's ball game, and Roosevelt Nelson also will be out of today's game.
So back it up 5 yards to the 41 with 3 wideouts to the top of your screen for Will Proctor. Proctor looking to throw, gets it off, and it falls incomplete there as he kind of threw it into a crowd there. It looked like it was Kyle Browning in the general neighborhood of there. Eli Nichols coming in to kind of break things up. He's going to make it 2nd down and 15.
Trying to set up a little screen that time. Duke came with a blitz, and actually one of the guys able to drop back and pick up Browning coming out of the backfield very well, and Nichols, a good play there by Nichols to recognize what was going on around him.
So it's 2nd down and 15. Again, 4 wideouts for Clemson. Proctor working from the shotgun. And this is Browning going to the left side, trying to find a way to go across the 40. Finally wrestled down. He comes down around the 36-yard line. There's a look at Kyle Browning. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 10.
You watch this, Browning trying to get out to the corner, but the Duke defense will have none of that. They're able to shut it off and force Browning to cut himself back into the middle of the field. When you do that, then you get defensive flow and defensive help coming to you.
Browning stays in on 3rd down and 11. The Tigers need to get it to the Duke 26. Proctor straight back, looking long. He's got a man open. And they're going to give the catch to Chancey Stuckey inside the Blue Devils' 5-yard line. Alex Williams, the outside linebacker, finally able to bring him down, but what a great catch by Chancey Stuckey.
And also a good throw by Proctor. He puts a little air underneath this ball. He's looking right down the middle of the seam of the defense. He sees Stuckey coming open, puts enough air underneath it for Stuckey to go get it. And a nice diving catch by Stuckey right at the half-yard line.
He picked up 36 yards. That makes it 1st and goal Clemson from the 1. Reggie Merriweather, the lone setback. Proctor trying to push it up the middle. Still no signal.
Got to be in.
Clemson players signaling touchdown. And finally, there's your call. Clemson in the end zone. And the opening drive winds up with the Tigers putting points on the board.
Boy, and a great way for Proctor to come out and establish himself in this ball game and pick up some confidence. This is nothing but brute strength right here. The snap, and then everybody just move forward as Proctor able to push himself into the end zone.
He followed his center, 62, Dustin Fry, right up there, and Proctor in the end zone. And the Tigers take their opening drive and put it up on the board. Jad Dean trying to make it 7-0 Clemson. And indeed he does. So the Tigers strike first. Will Proctor, a very good opening drive, 4 first downs and a touchdown with 9:23 left in the first quarter. Clemson leads Duke 7-0. You're watching college football on CSS. Dean on the season has kicked off 45 times. 21 have gone for touchbacks, and make it now 22 as Davis is hauled out all the way into the back of the end zone. Duke will come out like this on offense. Take a look at that big offensive line. It is Bottom, Moravchek, Matt Rumsey, Krieg, and Warwick up front. Boyle starting at tailback with Ruff, Riley, Adams, Rowland, your tight end. And here is the young quarterback. It is Zach Asak, a 6'4" freshman from Westwood, Massachusetts, completing about 48% of his passes, 4 touchdowns. and 6 interceptions.
And if you're Vic Koenig, the defensive coordinator for the Tigers, you are going to come at the young freshman quarterback.
He's going to open up with the I formation from the 20 on first down. Straight up in the middle and finding some yardage, about 9 yards on that pickup, going right up the middle goes Boyette as he's able to pick up good yardage. Checking out your Clemson defense, Bennett, Jackson, Trey, Tate, and Gaines Adams across the front. The linebackers, Tremaine Billy, Anthony Waters, and Nick Watkins. And in the secondary, Hill, Hamlin, Fudge, and Gilliam. Michael Hamlin there, the cat safety, making the stop there, but after a pickup of 9 yards, making it 2nd down and 1. Drummer coming around, but they're able to once again give it to their tailback. It looks like he gets it across the 30 for a first down. Corey Groover making the stop there for the Tigers. Once again, Raekwon Boyette, but we're going to check out a penalty marker.
See the line judge talking over with Ron Cherry. Illegal shift.
So that's going to wipe out the first down yardage by Boyette. As Don Cherry looks like he's trying to find someone to talk to at this point.
We have an illegal shift on the offense. We had 2 men in motion at the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty. We still have 2nd down.
Well, we mentioned young teams, and those are the kinds of mistakes that young football teams playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores can do.
And that's just part of the growing process that I know that Ted Roof, as you take a look at him there on the sidelines, just going to have to watch his team go through right now. We realize his overall record right now at Duke is only 5-20, but the Duke folks really believe that Ted Roof will be able to get this thing turned around. They're just going to give him some time.
A mark off of 5 yards, making it 2nd down and 6. Asack working now from the shotgun. It's off, complete across the 30-yard line. They will find a guy on the outside, Ronnie Elliott, his wide receiver. That should be good enough for first down yardage there. There's a good look at Elliott.
Boy, and a good throw there by Asack. Right over top of the Clemson linebacker who had the coverage up front, and he was able to just get it right over top of his head and get it to his receiver for the first down. Fine throw by the freshman.
The pickup is to the 32-yard line. And Duke comes again with the I formation. Asack working under center. This is Boyette again. A yard, maybe 2 there. Anthony Waters, the middle linebacker, coming in there to make the stop. Corey Groover also in there as well. Groover getting a lot more playing time this week, Tom.
Well, Groover, of course, has been hampered by a little bit of an injury bug, and they actually changed his medication this week. And Vic Koenig said, I don't know if it was psychosomatic or exactly what, but it seems to have had an effect on him, and the young guy is ready to play.
6'3", 282-pound senior in there. A pickup of 1 on that last play, making it now 2nd down and 9. Asack's going to keep it, drop the middle across the 35 and up to about the 38-yard line. Tremaine Billy, one of the bodies in there to bring him down after a pretty good pickup. But once again, Asack doing a pretty good job in here. This is a true freshman.
Well, and Duke's going to want to run the football there. They really don't want to have to put the pressure on Asack to be able to drop back there in the pocket and throw the football downfield. They would much rather the line of scrimmage be controlled by their offensive line and be able to run at the Tigers.
Duke has converted about 32% of the time on 3rd down. This time they're looking at 3rd down and 3. They need to get it to their own 42. Clemson crowd beginning to make some noise now. And it does not look like he's going to beat that play clock. Whistle's going, and it looks like we're going to back it up for a delay of game.
And there's your freshman mistake at quarterback for you. You got to realize where the play clock is.
The snap, delay of game on the offense, number 13. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
14 freshmen and 10 sophomores are in the Duke 2-deep chart going into this game. And again, you're going to have some mistakes when you play this many young people.
Well, and you take a look at certainly the defensive side of the football for Clemson, and they've got 8 or 9 either true freshmen or redshirt freshmen that are playing out on the field today.
So Duke breaks the huddle with less than 10 seconds left on the play clock this time. And there's a quick snap, and Asack is able to luckily get the football back and goes down in a heap. And then a little action after the game and penalty flags coming in now. That was Gaines Adams having a little skirmish there with Bottom, the left tackle. So we'll have to check out the flag after the sack.
Don't know if we'll get offsetting here or Duke is signaling that it's going to be against Clemson. Nope, it's Duke.
It's going the other way.
Usually it's always the second guy that gets caught. Nope. Personal foul, Clemson.
Personal foul is against Clemson.
Yeah, Cherry pointed the wrong way. As we'll watch the replay here, you'll see the snap come up and Asak just wasn't even ready for it. And then he's able to get it. Now watch the play as it'll continue on here. Then you see Gaines Adams on top, and then there's a kind of a swing by Adams, and that is what brought forth the flag.
Lavdrim Bottom is the left tackle.
Personal foul, number 93 on the defense. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Looks like he came in with a push, and Gaines Adams, who got whistled there, gave sort of a half a swing there. And Don, you mentioned it is the reaction, although that was almost simultaneous that time, but it cost Clemson yardage, and more importantly for Duke, a first down now at their own 46.
Gaines Adams knows better than that, though.
This is Boyette up to about the 47-yard line. Charles Bennett making the tackle there. Raquan Boyette, another freshman. He's out of Wilson, North Carolina, averaging close to 5 yards a carry on the season. We expect to see Justin Boyle and also Ronnie Drummer in there, as you see the season numbers for Boyette.
Again, 4.9 yards per carry. This game is so much easier to play when you can have positive yardage, especially on first down. 2nd and 5 is so much better than 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9.
Well, he only got 1 yard there, so it is indeed a 2nd and 9 situation as we get close to 5 minutes to go in quarter number 1. Asak looking to throw, finds a man complete. First down yardage and more to about the 40-yard line. He goes to his H-back, Ben Patrick there, who's able to make the grab, and it's going to move the chains, and Duke goes into Clemson territory for the first time.
Well, we're going to see this right from behind Asak as he's looking left, and then the good throw. Waters was there on the coverage, led the H-back to get away from him just a little bit, but enough for the first down. And I tell you what Duke is also doing here, not only are they moving downfield and establishing their own momentum, but now that Clemson offense that came out and scored on the opening drive is having their momentum taken away from them.
1st and 10 from the Tigers 39. Asak, deep drop, trying to get away, and Asak gets sacked. And right in there for the Tigers is Brent Smith. Or check that, Courtney Vincent, the freshman defensive end, coming in there to make the stop.
Watch the replay here. Asak with plenty of time to throw. He kind of feels the pressure, trying to step up and run. Vincent will have none of that, though, as he comes from the Bandit side and makes the tackle.
Vincent made a good stop there. He's a freshman out of Allendale. It's a loss back to the 43, 2nd down and 13. Asak running up the middle and going nowhere. Wrestling him down in a hurry. Big number 91, Rashad Jackson. Another freshman for Clemson, a freshman out of Union, although once again we got some markers down on the field.
And again, Duke is pointing Clemson's way, saying this is going to go against the Tigers.
We have 2 fouls on the play. During the live ball, we have a holding 79 offense. After the play was over, we have a dead ball, personal foul, number 6 on the play. Both fouls will be administered.
So it's called on Marcus Jones, the second one, and the first one, 79, Demetrius Warwick. So Duke is going to be marched back past midfield. And this is going to make for a long way to try to convert. This football is going to wind up all the way back at the Duke 32.
They got 2nd down in Pickens County.
So what do you do here? They need the Clemson 29-yard line. Penalties so far, 4 against Duke for 45 yards, but again, 2 on that play. This is 2nd down and 38. I didn't know I could count that high. Asak with a deep drop, throws over the middle. He's got his man Boyette, the running back, but wrestled down there a couple of yards. Anthony Waters making up the stop, and that's going to make it 3rd down and about a zip code from here.
And good recognition by the defensive front 4 of the Tigers that time. They could kind of feel that the offensive line was just kind of letting them go. And anytime that you're a defensive lineman, you feel like an offensive lineman is just letting you go and having free run to the quarterback, that is a signal, stop, because they are usually trying to set up some type of screen.
There's a good look at Anthony Waters. Raekwon Boyette going out of the game now on 3rd down and 36. Duke back at their 34. Asak looking to throw under pressure over the middle, completes it, and Anthony Waters just absolutely swallowing up there the running back Justin Boyle. That's going to bring up 4th down. So Duke, which got a much-needed penalty and a couple of big plays to get all the way into Clemson territory, is going to wind up kicking the football away.
Well, there you see the pressure coming on Asak, and then Waters comes over from the linebacker spot, a good angle of attack, and just makes the sure tackle.
So on 4th down, Chris Sprague, averaging better than 41 yards on the season, will kick it. Chancey Stuckey waiting for it, standing at the Clemson 22. Stuckey averaging 9 yards a return on the season. He's got a 47-yarder, his long one, for a touchdown back in the opener against Texas A&M. Sprague's kick is away. Stuckey fields it on the run at the 32. Still on his feet across the 40 into about the 42-yard line. And that's where Will Proctor and company will take over when they come back. 2:05 left in the first quarter. Clemson leads Duke 7-0. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. From the shotgun. Proctor keeping it. And he's at midfield and probably just across there for a pickup of about 1. Green making the tackle right there. Brian Green. Here's how the Tigers came out. They got to get this game going, Don, with Merriweather running the football.
Well, they came out and established the run with Merriweather. And then here's the big pass down the seam to Stuckey, a great catch, and then Proctor just takes it right from there and able to muscle it into the end zone for the 6 points, and the Tigers lead it here 7-0.
2nd down and 2. Ball spotted right at midfield. Merriweather going to check that. That's James Davis, the freshman, and he's in there 40, 35, still on his feet down to about the 29-yard line. James Davis.
And you can see the big wrap that is over there, Fred, of course, on his left hand. That's from the broken wrist that he suffered 3 weeks ago at NC State. But this is what they love about Davis. Again, running left side behind that offensive line, but able to make yards after the first contact. And he's about a step and a half quicker than Merriweather. So they're going to look to get him more out on the corner than they will Merriweather. As you take a look at his number, Merriweather was averaging 5.2 a carry, and as you saw, Davis averaging 5.1 a carry.
He was having a monster game against NC State when he had that broken bone in his arm, and they faked this time, and Proctor looking to throw, tried to go to the Tyler Grisham. The ball fell incomplete.
That's one of those things where he's so wide open that Proctor had so much time to throw that football. He had too much time to throw it.
So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. But going back to Davis, had that big game going against NC State. Got hurt then, actually did come back in the Georgia Tech game and just sort of made about a cameo appearance last week.
Well, I think what happened against Georgia Tech was that they had already had a couple of turnovers in that first half. They put Davis in the ball game. He just didn't seem comfortable carrying the football. So you didn't want to put a guy in there already with a cast on his wrist and all that kind of stuff and run the risk of another turnover.
Proctor to throw, under pressure, rolls to his right and gets away from it, still running. And he's going to take it out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. May have actually lost about half a yard there. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Boy, Duke defensively had to be thinking, we got a sack here, but Proctor with his athleticism is able to sidestep the would-be tackler. He turns it right, looking downfield to see if any receiver pops open, and when that does not happen, he just tucks it and runs for the sideline.
That was Clifford Resprass, a freshman from Barnesville, Georgia, giving the pressure on Proctor to get him out of bounds. It was a loss of 1, so that's going to bring up 3rd down and 11. So credit actually a sack officially for Resprass. Inside a minute in the first quarter, swinging outside and complete, is going for some yardage there, and up near the first down goes Kyle Browning. He'll be very, very close to it. Showed a little zip there as he swings it to the outside.
Well, this is almost like a handoff, really. When you can just find your back coming out of the backfield like this, you slip it over there to Browning, nice little move, and then you're going to see he's going to get knocked out of bounds shy of the first down stake, about a yard shy. Decision time here for Tommy Bowden. Looks like that he's going to go for it again on 4th down.
Felt like Alexander finally made the tackle there, but big yardage in a hurry, and suddenly Clemson going to go for it for the second time on 4th down. They are 7 for 11 on the season on 4th down, if you count that one we had earlier in the ball game. Proctor giving it to Merriweather, who's going to keep pushing his way in there, and that was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort, it looks like, to get that first down.
You can credit the offensive line with that. You remember we go back a couple of weeks at that Notre Dame Southern Cal game where Lenhart got pushed into the end zone. Well, watch this. Looks like Merriweather is going to get stopped short of the first down. And then look, here comes everybody else just kind of pushing the pile, That's not Merriweather necessarily, even though he's keeping his feet going. That's the guys behind him pushing him forward.
He goes along for the ride. First down and 10, Clemson now at the 18 of Duke. And this is Davis, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Clemson. James Davis. He can make things happen in a hurry, and he's got the Tigers back in the end zone again.
Well, nothing fancy about this either. They give it to Davis, and again he's going to go left side where we've been talking. Look at the hole over there. He breaks the initial would-be tackler and then just uses the speed to get to the corner of the end zone. The thing that Tommy Bowden has got to like about this, 2 times in the red zone, he hasn't had to settle for a field goal. He's been able to punch it in for 7 both times.
18 yards on the touchdown run. He's got 2 carries already for 39 yards. Jad Dean's extra point is up, and it is good. Jad Dean ready to kick off again, and Chris Davis and Ronnie Drummer are back to receive this one. This is Davis about 4 yards deep. He'll bring it out across the 20 and dives up and about the 25-yard line. So with about 8 seconds left in quarter number 1, that's where the Blue Devils will take over. Chris Clemens, the freshman, coming in there to make the special teams tackle.
Tell you what, you got to be a sick human being to play on that kickoff return and kickoff coverage unit, because those guys are flying at one another like missiles.
And of course, if you're a young player, that's the best way to make an impression. And Clemens has made an impression this year, already playing so much as a first-year player. Zach Asak back at the controls now from his 21-yard line is where the drive will actually start. Rolling right, looking to throw, has a man completed, and a big hit right there by C.J. Gaddis, but pretty good yardage picked up by the big tight end. That's 89, Andy Rowland. As the first quarter comes to an end with Duke up near first down yardage. We are through 1 quarter at Clemson's Death Valley. The Tigers lead Duke 14-0. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Fred Cunningham and Don Munson back at Clemson. The Tigers starting quarter number 2 with a 14-0 lead. And let's take a look at the first quarter numbers, and obviously rushing yardage heavily in favor of Clemson.
And the Tigers have just controlled the line of scrimmage so far when they've had the ball offensively. They've had it twice and punched it into the end zone twice.
Zach Asak on 1st and 10, throwing outside. He's got his tight end again. That's Rowland going outside, pushed away by Gaines Adams. Another pretty good pickup. Asak now is 6 for 6 on the day. This is a guy who came in as a 48% passer on the season.
So far, he's been pretty impressive. He hasn't thrown anything really downfield. It's been the little dink and dunk kind of thing, but so far he's been very successful in doing it. Like you said, 6 for 6 for 42 yards so far in today's ball game.
They had a pretty good drive going the last time out, and then they had the double penalty, and that just backed them up, and couldn't possibly come up with a first down at that point. 2nd down and 2. Asak will throw again. He goes long, looking for his man. He has him. Outside is Riley, bringing down the catch as he beats Sergio Gilliam there for pretty big yardage. Aaron Riley, the freshman wide receiver, has Duke in Clemson territory.
We'll watch this on the replay again. You see it from the Clemson end zone and the throw downfield, and Gilliam just got turned around a little bit. And when he looked back for the football, it was already past his head and into the hands of Riley for a big completion and a first down.
Riley's catch taking the Blue Devils all the way to the Tigers' 28-yard line.
32-yard throw.
High formation, Drummer in motion. And this is Drummer going to the right side. And he's brought down by Michael Hamlin there after about a pickup of about a yard. They brought him in motion several times. That's the first time they actually gave it to him.
Boy, and good discipline that time by the Tigers defensively to stay home and play your area. Again, you see the fake handoff and then the little end around. Nick Watkins out there missed him, but here comes some help. Gaines Adams, I know one of those guys over there to get on top of the ball carrier. Also Michael Hamlin, who had himself a really good ball game last week at Georgia Tech.
2nd down and 8. Football at the 26-yard line. Asak now working with 4 wide receivers. And will throw again. Has a man at about the 20-yard line, completed and brought down. It's once again Riley. Short of the first down by 2, perhaps 3 yards. Ty Hill, the corner, making the stop.
In Asak, you see from behind him, looks left, throws and finds in a good tackle by Ty Hill. You talk with the professional scouts. Hill, of course, is senior, expected to go high in the draft. And the thing that is really impressing the scouts is the tackling ability now that Ty Hill is developing as a football player.
3rd and 1, the football at the 19-yard line. Duke 0 for 2 on the day. Give it to their big fullback, and on second effort, he's going to have the first down yardage. And that is actually, once again, they gave it to their tailback, who was actually sitting up. That's Borquette. But Boyette, excuse me, but still good enough for a first down. Football marked at the 17. Tommy Bowden, he knows Ted Roof pretty well. They were on the Alabama staff together with Bill Curry back in the 80s. Now on opposite sidelines. And Duke in the red zone for the first time today. Asak to throw again, gets it off. In and out once again in the hands of Jones. Marcus Jones could not pull that one down. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
This was the ball that was on the hands of Jones. He just couldn't come up with it. Had to leap a little bit and try to get to it, but just could not quite hang on. We talked about the offensive efficiency of Clemson in the red zone, 29 of 32 coming in. Duke is 4th in the ACC. They are 15 of 18 in the red zone this year and 13 touchdowns.
Asak's first incompletion, and it really wasn't his fault. The football was there. 2nd down, rolling to throw again, and he is sacked. He threw the football away just at the last second there. The 2 defensive ends in there, Gaines Adams and also Charles Bennett.
Ron Cherry, not a popular figure here in Clemson's Death Valley. You see the hands, and you can't see downfield. Now maybe we'll get a little bit better angle from this. If there actually was a receiver that was in the area, you look at the throw. Boy, if there was, I don't know where he was.
Halloween was a few days ago, so he obviously wasn't disguised. But again, no loss on the play, as it turns out. 3rd down and 10. Duke 1 for 3 on the day. Asak throws over the middle, and it's dropped a little bit low there. He was trying to go right there to Boyette, but it falls incomplete. Trey Tate given some heat there. It's going to bring up 4th down, and Duke will try a field goal.
Well, if you're Ted Roof here, you didn't want it to settle for a 3-point attempt here. You would have much rather seen your club punch it into the end zone, but this will be an attempt of about 34 yards.
Joe Shergan, 4 for 5 on the season. His best is from 47, and this one was not pretty, but it did get through the end zone just barely. He knocks it in from 39 yards out, and Duke for the first time is on the scoreboard, and the deficit is now 11. So Duke got some points out of that. As we'll take another look here with Clemson leading 14-3, 12:36 left. Second quarter, you're watching college football on CSS.
Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
Looking to throw, gets it away, and it falls incomplete. He was going outside, trying to find his receiver, Ronnie Elliott, the wideout, but that one just a little bit to the right. Couldn't pull that in. Pretty good pressure coming in here, though.
Good pressure here by the Tigers defensively. I believe it's going to be Brandon Cannon that will come in and actually take the shot at Asak. And Cannon, a name that we're really not used to calling that much this season, but he's ready to get after it here against the Blue Devils.
Third down and 9. Duke needs to get it to their own 22-yard line. Blue Devils 1 for 4 on the afternoon. Asak, the throw, way too high above the outstretched hands once again of Ronnie Elliott, falling incomplete. And it's going to be 4th down, and Clemson's got a chance to really turn the field around a bit here on field position.
Well, defensively, the Tigers come out and do exactly what they wanted to do there. As you take a look at Asak heading to the sideline, they're going to pat him on the shoulder and tell him, good job, young man. But defensively, the Tigers just pinned their ears back on that series and came after it.
So Chris Sprague ready to kick this one away. His first kick was 35 yards. He stands at his own 2. Chancey Stuckey waiting for it at the Clemson 46. Kick is away. Stuckey waits for it. Fields it and is brought down. Almost, no, he's not brought. Well, he finally is. Duke flying in there with a number of players. Platt just one of them. With 9 minutes and 19 seconds left before halftime, Clemson leads Duke 14-3. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
Proctor to throw. Going long, and a catch by Aaron Kelly there. He was able to get that football away. DeAndre White was in position, but Kelly's a big target, Don.
Boy, he is a big target. You can just throw it up there and let the big guy go get this. Proctor, a good throw, and he just sets it up there, and Kelly goes up there, gets 2 hands on it, hauls it into his body. A big pitch and catch there for the Tigers.
You see his numbers on the season. He's just a redshirt freshman, and they have been very high on him going all the way back to fall camp and even into the spring. Football marked at the 31. Right at 6 minutes to go before halftime. This is Merriweather, 25, and he's out of bounds. Looks like he should have a first down. Jeremy Edwards, the linebacker, ran him out of bounds, but looking for the spot. We should have another Clemson first down.
Well, that time Merriweather shows us some speed, Fred. He gets out to the corner, gets right there around the corner, then he just turns it upfield, gets those legs going, and gets it about a 12-yard pickup on the play.
Football marked at the 19. Again, it is a first down, and Clemson into the red zone for the 3rd time on the afternoon. And Merriweather stays in the game and has the football again. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 3 times in the end zone for Clemson, all 3 times on their first play once they got in the into the red zone.
Well, they just go right behind the right guard. You see the center and the guard coming off, and they're just pushing the Duke defense back, and Merriweather takes it into the end zone. That's just way too easy.
Merriweather in the end zone now. Jad Dean is on to try to add the extra point and push the lead back to a margin of 18. Cole Chase in the holder. Not pretty, but it is good. So the Tigers extend the lead with 5 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter. Clemson leads Duke 21-3. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. Dean ready to kick off. Davis and Drummer once again waiting for it. As you check out that scoring drive, football away. Davis will return it. 10. Ooh, big hit there. David Dunham, who has delivered some big licks this year, and he hit another one right there. I go back to that Boston College game when he made a big hit on the quarterback, but this one's a special teams play.
Well, watch the replay of this, and this is what I was talking about. You got to be a sick human being to do this, and bang! Here comes big 31, and he just Dunham with a huge hit. Dunham made a hit here, what was it, last year against South Carolina on the opening kickoff that forced a fumble, and the Tigers never looked back in a 29-7 win over the Gamecocks.
So Asack takes over, 1st and 10 from his own 17. On the ground, 20, and Anthony Waters able to bring down there their running back once again. They've been going a lot today with Boyette, the freshman, and once again they bring him down. There is Boyette.
You know, nothing real fancy here. Good blocking though up front by the Duke offensive line. It gets out there, but Waters again with a good angle of pursuit to come over there and make the tackle.
So Duke now enjoys a short conversion situation after a pickup of 7, 2nd down and 3 for Asack. Once again, he's going to keep it. This time he's got the 1st down and more, kind of barrels his way over 32. Nick Watkins there for the 1st down. C.J. Gaddis also in the neighborhood. Pretty good run there by Asack.
And, you know, this is nothing but a variation of the old wishbone attack, really, Fred, what you have here. You have the quarterback looking at the line of scrimmage. He fakes it into his running back. He kind of reads what's going to happen. Either gives it to him or decides to take it out. Keeps it himself in a big pickup and a big 1st down for the Blue Devils.
Duke, of course, has struggled on offense throughout the season. They average just over 15 points a game. That ranks them 110th out of 117 teams in Division I. 1st and 10, Asack to throw, going long, and just beyond the grasp there of Ronnie Drummer, who couldn't quite catch up with it. It'll bring up 2nd down. Adrian Lewis, the corner in there, the freshman, out of Charleston on the defense.
2nd time today that we've seen the Blue Devils try to go deep downfield. Both times it's been down the right sideline. And again, the receiver had a step on Michael Hamlin there, but Asack just couldn't deliver him the football. Duke's got to do that offensively, though. You've got to throw that ball downfield a couple of times to keep the defense honest. As you took a look at Asack's numbers on the day, which aren't bad. 9 of 14 is a pretty good percentage.
2nd down. Asack looking to throw, ball away, complete. Went to his H-back Patrick. Tremaine Billy wrestles him down there. Football looks like it's going to be marked around the 39-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3.
3rd and 3 situation. You know, offensively, you can do a lot of things here. You can obviously hand it off to a running back. You can go play action. And what a 3rd and 3 situation does, defensively, you've got to play honest. You can't do a lot of things. Timeout being called here, I believe, by Duke.
Ted Roof was going to take a look right here and make sure they got the right play call before they try to make this conversion happen. Blue Devils trying to convert. They are 1 for 5 on 3rd down on the afternoon. This is a 3rd down and 3. Asack working out of the shotgun. Still with time, and now will keep it and run the football. He's got the 1st down and he's up close to midfield. Tremaine Billy coming over the top on the tackle. Also C.J. Gaddis in there, but pretty good decision making there by Asack.
Oh, great job by Asack. Looks downfield, sees no receivers open, puts a little move on Waters, then puts another one there on Billy, and able to pick up a big 1st down just shy of the midfield stripe.
Clock running now, 3.5 before halftime. It's an I formation now. Boyette deep in the backfield. Asack throwing, and he's got a man. It's Riley. It's complete inside the 30-yard line as Riley beat Ty Hill there. And Riley's having a big game.
Oh, and a good route also run by Riley here. We'll see this from Asack's point of view, though. Throw it up, put a little air underneath the football, make your receiver adjust to it, go up and get it, and a big play.
Riley hauling it in there. He's a 6'3", 185-pound freshman out of Savannah, Georgia. Came into the game with pretty modest numbers, 5 catches, 104 yards. He's a big play receiver, but on the day now 3 catches for 64. 1st and 10 from the 25. They give it to Drummer. He's able to shake off one tackler, but Anthony Waters and company come in and take him down for a loss on the play.
Gaines Adams is going to kick himself because he had him back there initially, and then we'll watch Waters, but watch Adams. He's going to come in here. He reads this well, reads the reverse. Nope, not there, but is able to slow him down enough for Waters and a host of Tigers to come over and finish him off.
Yeah, Michael Hamlin also in there. A trio of Clemson tacklers. It's a loss back to the 31. And it's now going to be 2nd down and 16. Clock running as we get close to 2 minutes left, first half. Asak to throw, complete. Boyette hauled down though from behind. Trey Tate, the defensive tackle, making the stop, and it's going to be a 3rd down.
And a good read that time by Trey. Again, remember we talked earlier about how when you're a defensive lineman and you kind of feel that the offensive lineman is letting you get by him too quickly. I think that Trey read that well there. He kind of sensed that they were trying to set up a little bit of a middle screen. He stayed at home, made the play.
3rd down and 12. Duke needs to get it to the Clemson 15-yard line. Asak up the middle. And he's going to wind up being short as he's brought down around the 21-yard line. Anthony Waters in there. So was Darrell Scott, the freshman nose guard. Football spotted right at the 21, so this is going to be 6 yards short.
Tell you what, decision time here for Ted Roof. Guess what? You're 1-8.
Yep.
What have you got to lose? You're already down 21-3. So, you know, what have you got to lose by going for this here on 4th down? This would be about, what, a 38-yard field goal attempt, but I think the Blue Devils here they're certainly talking it over on the sideline and trying to make up their mind if they're going to go for it or not.
At the same time, the clock continues to run, and Duke still has 2 timeouts, and now they have 1 timeout because Ted Roof is going to go ahead and use it up there to decide what they want to do next. But Ted Roof thought about it and decided he is going to go with a field goal. And this is Shergan who's going to try to hit his 2nd one of the day. From the 29, 28, 38-yarder. And it's blocked. Football is loose. And Clemson will take over. Tremaine Billy coming in there. They stuffed that field goal out, and Clemson's going to take over the football in Duke territory. And with 32 seconds left in the half, Don, that decision may have been a dreadful one.
And we're also going to get a personal
of
foul or an unsportsmanlike penalty that's going to be called here on the Blue Devils. So this ball is going to end up way downfield for the Tigers. As you see, Groover there on the bottom of the pile has lost his helmet. He comes up smiling. Watch the replay. Boy, that ball was just smothered.
Yeah.
Absolutely smothered. Gaines Adams has a shot at it. No, he can't pick it up. Ty Hill was also there, but I tell you what, that ball, Billy just all over that thing.
Then there's a scramble for it. Groover finally came up with the football. He got the football, lost his helmet in the process, kind of got knocked off his head there.
Yep.
In Duke territory, and this is before we even check out where the penalty marker is going to advance the ball.
After the play was over, have unsportsmanlike conduct, 26 on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, 1st down.
That's a penalty on the kicker.
Yeah, if you're Ted Roof, you don't like that at all. You know, you're a special teams guy. You're a kicker. Do not cost me 15 extra yards, please. It's bad enough you got the kick block, but don't cost me another 15.
Well, Clemson has 3 timeouts and 32 seconds, and they take over at the 33-yard line with 5 wide receivers for Will Proctor.
I think they're going to throw it into the end zone here on this play. Wouldn't be surprised.
They swing it outside. Chancey Stuckey getting a block from LaDonte Harris. He's out of bounds inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. What a turnaround on that field goal kick. A 62-yard turnaround as far as field position goes. Wow.
Well, let's go back and look at it, too. You know, as we said, Ted Roof, you're 1-8. Guess what? You're not going to come into this stadium and pull upsets kicking field goals. I thought that he really should have gone for it there. Had nothing to lose.
It was a very similar situation to Michigan State and Ohio State several weeks ago when Michigan State got a field goal stuffed. And Ohio State took it back for a touchdown. Chancey Stuckey, first down, on his feet inside the 20, up near the 10-yard line. Clock stops with 17 seconds to go. Jeremy Edwards hauls him down. But Clemson using a timeout here, the first of 3.
Well, let's watch this. Stuckey, a good block out there. Then he's going to makes a man miss him, cuts it back upfield against the grain, and you think, oh my goodness, he may take this thing in, but the defense comes over there and wraps him up at the 10-yard line. But with 17 seconds left, plenty of time to do something.
Chris Davis finally making the stop on Stuckey, and now the question is 17 seconds left. You've got 2 timeouts. How many plays can you get off to make those shots at the end zone before you want to save a few ticks to try a field goal?
I don't think there's any question you can get 3 off. I think that you can get 3 off, and you probably try to throw all 3 of them into the end zone. This is one thing you cannot do. Do not throw it short. Do not. Well, you got timeouts to work with, so at least you got that. But if I'm Tommy Bowden, as you take a look at the Duke kicker there, who is kind of the reason that the Tigers are even in this position to begin with.
But Joe Shergan, his field goal attempt was blocked. That got it to midfield, but again, the personal foul penalty on the kicker afterwards.
Shergan looks like a kicker. Wasn't a whole lot athletic about that.
First down now, and Clemson actually showing I formation from here, and now back into the shotgun with 2 backs. 17 seconds left before halftime. Proctor to the throw, swings it outside, in and out of the hands of Kyle Browning. John Talley out of Duncan, South Carolina, the corner coming in there.
Well, watch this. They're just going to try to get Browning out here on the, and this is almost like an extended handoff. Again, it's the running back coming out of the backfield. Now, chances are that Talley was going to come up there and make the tackle on that play. So maybe a good thing that Browning actually did drop the ball, but he only used 4 seconds. 13 seconds still left in the clock.
Clemson at the 11. Keep in mind, they still do have 2 timeouts, and they've got 5 wide receivers on this set. Proctor under pressure, throws it, Chancey Stuckey, 5, touchdown Tigers.
Little inside screen to the wide receiver, little slip screen. We've seen Clemson call that, use that quite a bit, and Stuckey able to find the end zone. He catches it about 7 yards shy of the end zone, but able to take it in for 6. And a huge momentum turn here for the Tigers.
Wow.
Watch this, good blocking downfield, but Stuckey's the one that kind of does this on his own. Broke the first tackle at the 5, and then broke one at the 1, and able to get it into the end zone for 6.
Chancey Stuckey getting the touchdown. Jad Dean's extra point is up and good. And with 7 seconds left in the half, Clemson a great turnaround. Chancey Stuckey just now caught his first career touchdown pass, meaning he has scored in 4 different ways as a Clemson Tiger. He's caught 1, he's run for 1, he's thrown 1, and he's had a kick return for 1.
Well, and we see this from the ground angle. Good camera work there, guys, and Stuckey able to, like I said, he breaks that first tackle at the 5 and then able to carry it into the end zone. Of course, Stuckey came into this program as a quarterback. It was only a couple of years ago that he was a backup quarterback. We saw him play most of the 4th quarter in Columbia, South Carolina, in a 63-17 rout of the Gamecocks by the Tigers. And boy, at that time you were thinking he was the second coming of Woody Dantzler. But then with the progression of Charlie Whitehurst at quarterback, the coaching staff decided he was just too good of an athlete, had to figure out a way to get him on the football field. They moved him out to wide receiver, and the rest is kind of history.
I hope that guy's got an empty stomach. Chancey Stuckey, the junior out of Warner Robins, Georgia. And I talked about this earlier. This reminded me of the Ohio State-Michigan game a few weeks ago. Michigan State was trying to line up for a field goal to end the half. Ohio State blocked it, ran it back for a touchdown, turned the game all around. Similar situation here, except there was enough time on the clock that Clemson was able to put together the short drive on the short field and get it in the end zone.
Well, I tell you what, if you're Tommy Bowden, I don't know if you can ask for
much more in this first half from what he has seen. He's starting a new guy at quarterback, and they are able to get the ball 5 times in the first half, and guess what? 4 of them end up to be touchdowns. You just don't get much better than that.
Ronnie Drummer and Chris Davis are back to take another kick from Jad Dean. As he just kind of squibs it across the ground. Fielded finally at about the 17-yard line, and that was Drummer there who gets knocked down pretty hard there short of the 30-yard line. And that's going to end up the first half. So Clemson closed that one out pretty well. Duke had a drive. They were thinking perhaps 21-6 in the half, maybe 21-10. Instead, a 25-point lead for the Tigers. We are at halftime at Death Valley. Clemson leads Duke 28-3. You're watching college football on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.